Welcome back, guys. It's another FPL video, and today we're talking about my team selection for game week 4. So if you're new to my channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. My channel has my analytics actually shows that most of you who watch my video are not even subscribed to my channel. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification icon so that anytime I post an FPL video, you're going to be notified, as I do post FPL videos on this channel regularly. So guys, that was the international break. I hope you enjoyed it, because most people never enjoy international break, and I don't even enjoy international break, and I wish that can be scrapped from football possibly. Okay, so today quickly we're going to be looking at my team selection for game week 4, like I said. But before we go straight into this week's team selection, let's look quickly at last week's team selection. So last week, this was what my team looked like. I used my wildcard last week, unknowing to me that Ronaldo was going to be arriving to the Premier League back this week. But no regrets, and I think it was actually a good thing for me that I used my wildcard. I was able to get 63 points, even if that was still quite low. I just was able to overhaul my team, because my team was actually very terrible. I had a very terrible squad. It's actually affected my beginning of the season. And if you look previously to game week 2, this is actually my worst team, my worst game week so far. I had a lot of inconsistencies with my players. Even the players you are actually seeing on my team weren't starters at all, so that was what prompted me to using my wild card to get this team you are seeing now. So now looking at this team, it's not that bad, but it can also get better, it can improve. So now what has actually changed from this lineup so far? Let's look straight into my game week 4, what my game week 4 is going to be looking like. So now back to my 15 players ahead of game week 4. I have Raya in the defense. I have Alonso, Walker, Pinnock, Salah, Son, Benrahma, Traore, Antonio, Lukaku, Wilson, Guaita on the bench, Tsimikas, Matip, Bissouma. Looking at this squad so far, this lineup so far is actually not bad, but I think a few adjustments needs to be made. So now looking at Raya, Raya is going to actually be starting for me for this game week. Is playing against Brighton. They're playing against the likes of Brighton, and they're playing at home. And so far, Brentford has actually turned out to be a very good team so far this season. They are not the best. They are not the best at the keeping clean sheet, but at least they have one of the highest clean sheets in the Premier League so far this season. And looking at their matches so far, they've only conceded 1 goal in 3 games so far this season, and that was against Aston Villa. In other matches against Crystal Palace and Arsenal, they actually kept clean sheets, even one against Arsenal. So Raya is going to be starting in my defense for me over Guaita, who is going to be playing Tottenham, and obviously he's even going to be the starter because Guaita has a tougher fixture ahead of him. Okay, so moving on, we have Alonso, Walker, and Pinnock. Okay, so now this defense for me, I don't know, I feel like I should still have to make a little bit of adjustments to it. Yeah, Pinnock is a player for Brentford as well, so he's definitely starting alongside Raya. And looking at Liverpool against Leeds, in the last matches they played, Leeds were able to get goals past Liverpool. So far, this is just my default squad since the previous game week. The only thing that's changing is Alonso. And so Alonso is definitely going to be starting, and I don't know, I somehow want to think I should bring in one of Liverpool's defenders, probably Tsimikas, but we know that Robertson is back and Tsimikas is definitely going back to the bench, so that would be a good idea either. And Matip against Leeds, they are playing away. I think for my defense is actually I'm actually satisfied with what my defense looks like. So Alonso is playing Aston Villa. So I think Chelsea should be able to even keep a clean sheet against the likes of Aston Villa, as we see Tuchel has been a master at his game so far, and Chelsea have been solid defensively, and we've all known that since the arrival of Tuchel. So moving on to Walker. Walker is playing against Leicester City against Manchester City, I think, and most likely Man City is definitely going to concede against the likes of Leicester City. I kind of wish I had an extra transfer to make. I would have just taken out one of these defenders or one of these attackers to bring in someone different, but that it's not bad, it's still okay. So I'm not really expecting much from Leicester City, from Manchester City against Leicester City, but I could actually see Walker actually turn out. Walker is a wing back, so we could actually see him get a goal or assist or something. So he stays in the team. He's definitely starting in the team. And now my midfield, I have Salah, Son, Benrahma, Traore, and my captain is not actually locked yet on Salah. I could still be looking at Lukaku, Antonio, or even Son. I have 4 of these players whom I talked about in my top captaincy video. You can watch that. I'll put links in the description, or you just see somewhere around here. Okay, so Salah is playing against Leeds. He's definitely starting, and I feel he's definitely going to get a number of good points in the match. But now this particular team is actually, I think, is set. My team is set and ready to go. What I'm just looking now is who is going to be my captain until my final decision, or if I don't change my decision, the person is just going to stay as my captain. But okay, we already know what's going on with Salah. Salah against Leeds, definitely going to be a good match for them. And so looks like 3 of my players are having some difficulty. Looks like they might be missing the match. Now, according to the Fantasy Premier League, Son has a calf injury and has just 75% of chances of playing the next match. Lukaku has the same thing on him. He has a thigh injury, 75% chance of playing next match. Wilson also has 75% chance of playing the next match. So now, what does this mean for my team? I don't want to exactly believe that all these 3 players are actually injured at the exact same time. They might have been injured, but somehow I feel they should have been healed from their injuries and ready to play in game week 4. And as we know the way Fantasy Premier League can be, so sometimes you can just see a player is having this sign as if he's not going to be available, and then you just come in the next match and you see that it's definitely fine and it's playing. So I'm not going to allow this to scare me, because even if it scares me, what am I going to do? I've used my wildcard already and I still have them in my squad, so, and I can't just discard them because of that. That will even cost me about 9 points to take out these 3 players, or even take out, and I don't want to even lose any points this season for any reason. So I will just leave them in the squad. Son is still going to be there for me in the squad. Even if one of these 3 of them looks like they are injured, I still feel like at least 2 of these players should play, and which I will actually be satisfied with if 2 of the 3 play. But the whole point is just for them to get the points I need to, make my team look good. So we have Benrahma. I didn't talk much about Benrahma. Benrahma is one of the highest performing players so far this season. He has let's quickly look through a few of his stats. He has a goal. He has 2 goals so far this season and 2 assists, which is actually, I think, which is very good. And looking at his team, Aston Villa, they've scored, West Ham rather, they've scored in all their 3 matches this season. They've necessarily not won all the matches, at least they've not lost. They won against Leicester City, scoring 4 goals, scored 4 against Newcastle 2, and they were able to score 2 against Crystal Palace. So West Ham is actually the highest scoring team so far this season. I think they are one of the highest scoring after Manchester City. Okay, so that's that for Benrahma. Now looking at Traore, now I've been looking at creating a watch list for Wolves players specifically ahead of game week 5, and I wanted to make that video this week, but I wasn't available to do it. And I think a lot of managers should start looking at Wolves players. They have some really fantastic fixture ahead, and this might actually, the only problem is just the way these players have been inconsistent. Should I say these players rather, the team has been inconsistent so far this season. Wolves haven't actually been the way we expected them to be. But according to fixture difficulty ranking, Wolves are very good fixtures ahead, and you should actually think of getting to Wolves players. So now Traore for me so far this season, it hasn't exactly been excellent. He has been getting shots and doing a lot of pushes, attacks, but it hasn't actually yielded any results. And if you look at his previous season in the Premier League, it was actually a similar case. You know, having playing almost over 2,000 plus minutes and having just 2 goals and 4 assists is actually very low. But it might actually be a different case this season, because Traore has been much more involved in Wolves' affairs this season. He's played every match for Wolves, not gotten a goal or assist yet, but I think it's promising, and I think something can come out of the match for Traore, because he's even playing against Watford. And Benrahma as well against Southampton is quite an easy fixture for West Ham, so we could even see West Ham doing double digits, triple digits again against Southampton. So Antonio is just similar to Benrahma. Antonio, you know, same fixture, the top performing player in the Premier League so far this season. I would like to talk about a few more things concerning team selection. Okay, so a lot of managers right now are actually having they're having Ronaldo. Everybody's having Ronaldo in their team, and definitely I feel like a lot of people are going to be captaining Ronaldo ahead of game week 5. So one of the reasons why I don't have Ronaldo, or why I didn't bring in Ronaldo, firstly was because I used my wildcard earlier than I wouldn't say earlier than I should have, but it was necessary. That's why I used it. But I wasn't chilled enough to use my wildcard during the international break. I used it the previous week, game week, so that was last game week. And that aside, I could have still one way somehow tried to bring in Ronaldo, but I still feel like many managers, Ronaldo is a fantastic player. You know, there's no stats you want to check that doesn't make him fit for your team. But I just think I want to be patient. Managers are not being patient enough. You know, it's just back to the Premier League, and we are not even sure if he's going to play the first match. So I don't have Ronaldo in my team because I want to see him perform first before I consider bringing him to the team. So Lukaku in my team is going to be playing Aston Villa. Pretty easy fixture, I guess. It's going to be an easy fixture for Chelsea. So I think Lukaku should also be able to easily do double digits in the coming game week. So looking at Callum Wilson, the only player I'm actually doubtful about for this game week is Callum Wilson, and so far he has 16 points, which is actually not bad. And it's actually been a difficult one. This game week is going to be playing Manchester United. The fixture difficulty ranking is 4. This doesn't necessarily mean that Wilson will not score or might not score against Manchester United. It's just that there's nothing much to be expected from this player. Looking at my bench, there's nothing really interesting about my bench, so there's not much to talk about from my bench, and I think this team is actually locked in for game week 4, except for the fact that I might decide to change my captain from Salah to someone else, probably during the deadline, or when we get team news ahead. If Lukaku is going to be fully available, because I'm not sure about his availability yet, I could even consider putting Lukaku for captain, or Son, or Antonio. But okay, so far this is my team selection ahead of game week 4. And quickly, if you look to the leagues I belong to, so far overall in the world, I'm 3.1 million, and this is actually quite bad for a person like me, because my last season statistics and as at game week 3 was actually awesome. I think I was top 200,000 or so. So these are the leagues I belong to. I don't top any of my league, and I'm not even in top 5 or even top 10 in any of the leagues. But looking at this team now, if these players that looks like they are not going to be available for the match are able to play, I think I should do well this game week. Probably even score nothing below 70 points. But I would definitely love to see that happen. But until then, we're still going to do a game week preview ahead for game week 4. So please stick to the channel and do hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. And this is my team selection for game week 4, and that's, we call it a day here, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.